Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
Pay attention! Stop! Pay attention!
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
I was in the D Club. I was popular with girls and boys.
Okay, this guy is a real zero. That's true.
Jeff Lutz.
Which means you weren't popular with either of them.
You're quasi-evil. You're semi-evil. You're the margarine of evil. You're the Diet Coke of evil. Just 1 calorie, not evil enough.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
In your head, that's the way it is. So, okay. You're so smart. I'll let it roll.
Don't you have any respect for yourself?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Turn it on and rip the knob off.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Here's where we are with this show right now. I tried for 4.5 years, Bob. Welcome in, everybody. We are here. Lots of intros today, but we're here. I'm hearing. There. There it goes. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz, Jason Duda, the three-man booth. I didn't even have time to get around to highlighting the show on Twitter, but we'll highlight it right here.
Just to clean up what we were talking about off the air, Hutchinson plays
Community College
2 days from now. That would be a Sunday at Georgia Military College in the Division I semifinals of the junior college playoffs.
Well, this would have been a good day to have the coach on. And I dropped the ball. It happens occasionally. And that I'm not going to apologize for it.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm going to make a real quick announcement. I'm not going to talk as much today. My mouth kind of hurts. I don't know what the deal is. I woke up with like some sinus stuff. Most of that's gone away, but my mouth still hurts. So it's going to be kind of the Jason and Bob show. I'll jump in.
Well, then be quiet.
When I feel like
God. I mean, if you're not going to talk, don't talk.
I got to get this part out of the way.
How long is it going to take you to explain that you're not going to talk?
It's going to be an interesting show because I said I wasn't going to talk. I was just going to sit here and pipe in once in a while.
No, I just said that. You were listening to me. I know you've been awake for a long time, but that was me talking. Who said that?
Settle down.
It took 5 minutes to tell us you're not going to talk.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe talking will help.
Good. Don't talk. Who cares?
Maybe talking will help, like loosen it up a little bit more, and I'll feel better. But yeah, it's some of those days in the winter, you kind of wake up with that dry mouth, your throat kind of hurts, the sinuses are struggling. It's been one of those days for me. And I guess I just have to keep talking.
That makes sense.
I don't know when we're going to have a full slate of...
Well, I'll just make this clear to you. I don't care if you talk or not, but please shut up for a minute.
Well, I can't when he's asleep and you're on your computer. So what are we doing?
I had something I needed to check.
No, you don't.
I don't have Drew Dallas's phone number in my phone. Well, the head football coach at Hutchinson Community College. Max, if you have that number.
Of course we have it. I've got it right here.
If you have that number, send it on to me. I'll get Drew on the show today.
No, don't do that.
Why?
That's so disrespectful.
They don't play for 2 days.
I understand, but once the show started, we're going to call him.
Yes, it's bad. I'm not proud of it, but it's respectful.
It's disrespectful. That's disrespectful of his time. And I would not do that if I were you.
I'm not forcing him to come on the show.
I wouldn't do it. Even the implication that he just can do it. I'll jump on. Thanks for giving me 5 minutes notice. Don't. Let's just hope they win.
Dude, break the tie, please.
Let's just hope they win Sunday, and we'll get them on next week.
You're both idiots.
Well, there's got to be you have to agree with one viewpoint or the other.
They're both so dumb.
Just answer the question.
Why? How can they both be dumb?
Settle down.
He's just doing Shoresy stuff, which half of me respects.
Stupid.
But the other half, I need you to participate in the show.
Yeah,
today.
be in the show. So which side are you on that? I think it's respectful for me to say, you know what, I dropped the ball.
I don't think it matters.
I should have been thinking.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I mean, call him, and if he's available, he'll do it. And if he's not available, he's not available.
Then you're on my side.
That's where I'm
That's
at.
what I'm saying.
To me, that's just such a bad look. It's so unprofessional. But that's just me. And if you want to do it,
call me all the time and say, "Hey, can you call the show right away?"
yeah, that's different.
What?
You don't have anything going on.
I get guests for this show day of all the time.
Day of, sure, but not during the show. Once the show started, we got to move on from
Send me that number.
I don't know if we have it.
Max, send me the number.
Someone
I've about
send
had it.
Bob the number.
What? You don't have it. How
that
did we get it?
crazy?
We've had him on the show.
You guys are awesome. This is fantastic.
I mean, come
We
on,
have had
Max.
him on the show. I wonder why the number's not saved. That's it. That's strange.
It's crazy.
We can get his number.
Can you?
Oh, now you're wanting me to get his number.
Oh, I can get it.
Well, get it.
He just doesn't want to give it to you because he's on the side that you shouldn't
There
call.
it is. You want me to say it out loud? We'll just
No, don't say it out
course.
loud, of course.
Just start with 555.
Yeah, it's 555
And then give him the other
111
seven numbers.
2000.
There you go. Anyway, congratulations and good luck to Hutchinson Community College in the NJCAA playoffs. Later on the show today, we'll talk with one of our favorites. I haven't told my wife, Eric Adams, girls basketball coach at Wellington. Debbie wants to know all the Wellington guests. I forgot to tell her.
All of them, huh?
Yeah. And we have Wellington people on this show occasionally.
We may have had their football coach on. I think
Twice.
we did, actually.
Once last year, once this year.
Yeah, we have Eric Adams on once or twice every year.
Or 3 times. We like talking to Eric.
Eric's got a good team. They're ranked number 1.
Yeah, they get
Over Miege.
Well, good luck. Miege may not be the juggernaut this year.
They are, but
Andover Central beat them.
In football, this is girls basketball.
Well, how do you know
Go
what they
beat
have
'em.
coming back for girls basketball?
He doesn't.
I do.
Okay.
No, you don't.
They have a
Here's
couple of
what
their
Jeff-
players went
he
to
says
KC
they do.
Piper.
That's all I
But
need.
everybody else is back mostly.
If Jeff says
and Wellington
they're coming
has
back,
everybody back.
if he says they're coming back, I believe everything he says.
I do the Friday 5. I check around.
You don't check the northeast part of the state. And the Friday 5, as much as you try to push it, is not gaining any traction.
It gets about 3,000 page views.
Does it really?
Every week. Football did. We'll see how basketball does.
Well, that's not bad. That's higher than I thought.
It's not terrible. Yeah, it's decent. I think it's
You
catching
got
on a
a
little.
sponsor for that baby?
Yeah, do you think?
What does that mean?
It means it kind of has to be their idea. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, they're not just going to take something and run with it. They don't even put it on the air. They don't even say, hey, check out our Friday 5, the best games in the air. They don't even do that.
Do you go to somebody and say, why don't we do that?
I haven't.
This is what drives me
I'm
crazy,
too proud
Duda.
of a man. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to beg
This is
for
what
attention.
drives me crazy.
Does it?
I never got anything done unless I tried to make it happen.
Yeah, but I'm not going to beg for attention.
I never begged.
That's
never
what it
begged.
is. Hey, guys.
I went to people and said, here's what I'd like to do. Can you get behind this? Got this idea. Let's go with it. But Jeff,
I'll just text
just
TJ
sits
right
over
now.
there in the corner of the office. Well, I'm going to do the Friday 5, and we'll put it online, but I won't tell anybody. And if they won't acknowledge it. And, wouldn't you, if you were doing something you really thought was good stuff?
You know, maybe I don't want to be a sellout.
Wouldn't you go say, "Hey, can we try to sell this? I think it could. I
don't want to be
work.
a sellout. I don't want to be
I'm talking
beholden to corporate
Remember, your
sponsors.
mouth hurts, Duda.
I don't want to be beholden.
Well, let's see. Now, if you think it's good, you put it out there and wait to see what happens because you're confident in what you've done.
Always.
Sometimes if you're needing to sell it, then you're needing to sell it because you're not sure if it's any good.
Huh? It's the dumbest comment I've ever heard.
See, did we need him today?
Why do I even ask him anything?
Very, very
He's
true.
so entrenched in his own world. And there's
trying
nothing
to-
wrong with
saying,
that.
that could be either way.
Of course.
But
everything in your life could be either way.
Exactly. So
That's who you are. You're
can't
either
just-
way guy.
you can't just jump on one side and be, this is the way it is. No, because you got to look at from the other side things. Got to be able to see all the angles.
And then make a decision on which angle's the
kind of
best.
stay in the middle, stay calm, figure it out, Talk it out.
Okay, you've had some
Giddy
time in the
up.
middle. How do you feel now?
Just like I did before.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I actually don't either.
You have to promote yourself.
Well, I just told TJ, start propping up the Friday 5. He doesn't even know what it is. He doesn't read his own website. So what are we doing over there?
He doesn't know what the Friday 5 is.
I guess not.
Come on.
What'd you do, text him?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said, what? This is what I'm dealing with.
Did you ever tell him you're doing the Friday 5?
It's Alan Ketchick, Kansas.
Right.
Every Friday for the last 14 weeks.
Who runs Catch at Kansas?
TJ.
Well, apparently not.
Obviously, he's not involved.
So there's not a guy that has, or a girl who has a final say on what goes up on Catch at Kansas? Who posts it? You?
Yeah.
Does anybody read it before you post it?
Of course not.
Does anybody know you're doing it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but my comment makes way more sense now.
Well, yeah, because this guy doesn't tell anybody what he's doing.
TJ said he does know what the Friday 5 is. What do you mean, prop it up?
God, what is going on over there?
How can prop it up be ambiguous?
I don't know.
Send a clear text message.
Tease to it on the air.
Tease.
So we're having this. You're willing to have this conversation on the air, but I can't try to get a guest during the show.
Absolutely. How is that the same? And I sent you Drew Dallas's number, by the way.
I just don't get it.
I don't know.
Either you promote yourself or nobody else is going to.
I'm not a self-promoter.
I am.
I'm just not that guy.
I'm a self-promoter.
I let my work speak for itself. If you don't want to jump aboard with me and the good work that I'm doing, that's not my problem.
In somewhere around the year 1996, I went to somebody and said, I think I could be the sports columnist. That's something I want to do.
You know what I do?
Shot.
I just start writing columns.
And then nobody ever knows it. And you got guys that, you what? Prop it up.
Here's a sports column. Again, why don't you prop it up for me? Oh, yeah, perfect.
So they said, well, you know what? We'll give you a shot. Why don't you write a column? And I did. You know what the column was?
What was the column?
What was it?
The gymnasts.
No, that wasn't the first one.
What was?
The first one was
calling for the firing
State
of
needs to get rid of Scott Thompson.
Yeah,
and the people around said, "Whoa, that's hitting the ground pretty heavy." Calling for a firing in his first column. But you know why? Because I had covered Scott Thompson. It was obvious the program wasn't going anywhere. And Wichita State basketball cannot stay in the slow lane. It won't work in this community. And
it's not working right now.
For 10 years, it was in the slow lane. The very slow lane.
Right. Nothing happening.
And they'd given him 3 years. Wasn't happening. Got to try the next person. Randy Smithson turned out to be that guy.
And you called for that, too.
I did. Yeah, I did. Made improvements.
Well, you're batting 1 for 2 on that one. That's an F-.
Made improvements, but ultimately didn't get it done.
Correct.
Then Mark Turgeon.
Got it done.
Then Greg Marshall.
Very much got it done.
And they've hit the slow lane again. We'll see if Paul Mills can get them revved up. But that's what I'm talking about.
Do we know how many people were at the Alcorn State game?
Don't know. Never looked at it.
Yeah.
Never even checked on it. Usually I'll text somebody and say, "Are you there? How many people are there?"
Yeah.
When I watch on TV, I can get some indication, but it's really hard because the seats are all very dark and you can't really, there's no light up there and you can't really tell.
Can't tell who's there.
You can't tell how full the place is.
Right. I agree. And I was told it's Alcorn State, by the way. So I'm going to start using that
You know who doesn't care? Me.
Why didn't you just say I don't care?
It's all right, I care.
Thank you.
I don't.
Where's Alcorn State?
It's in a state.
Which one?
With lots of trees with acorns.
Just guess one.
Not Acorn State, it's Alcorn.
An acorn state?
Guess
they
what
have
state?
Corn? They have corn.
Just
What
guess
time
what
were you
state?
up this morning?
2.
Because you're just awful so far.
2.
You got to start getting more sleep.
When?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Do you have a game today?
4.
4 games?
7.
Oh, God.
I'm so sick of this.
I'm tired of Duda.
So dumb.
It is. So dumb.
I do have a game today for you guys.
That's awesome.
Password?
No.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
No.
See, that's good. I think we don't want password to get stale, so you can't. You got to mix it in occasionally.
I know.
Right?
I'll mix it in, but it's not today.
But
Are
not
you doing
every
name
week.
10 things like I did last week? That was the best game ever.
Yeah, and they're my 10 things, so it doesn't matter what you think. It's what I think.
Exactly.
No, it'll be. We got a game.
Well, you guys got one on me last night, Green Bay.
No surprise.
Shouldn't have been, but it was.
Well, it doesn't
What do you
matter
think
if
it should have been?
Could have been. It was.
You think they
Detroit should have blown them out.
Really? Because they didn't.
Detroit's defense is not good right now.
Well, what did we tell you yesterday? They're banged up. They're hurt. They got lots of guys out.
I just figured they'd win by 6. They won by 3.
I told you it was going to be a 3-point game.
Well, that's what I said. 'cause
Oh, please.
I said that
Jeff,
on the air.
You've
said
gotten
that.
one game.
I said it.
You've gotten one game right in the last 3 weeks.
I've gotten one game right in the last one game.
Nobody cares what you think.
You knew it was going to be close. And what did I say to you, Jeff? It's going to be a 3-point game. And if it's 3 and what?
No, I said
3 in the hook.
No, that
you
was
take the points.
That was a different game. You talked
That
about the
wasn't
hook.
right.
I said
Yeah, the hook was a different game.
Whatever. I was right.
I said the hook will bring you back.
How many points do you guys put on it?
4?
I only put 4.
I had 7. So obviously I
had
felt
2.
a little more
Jeff only
confident
put
than
2
you.
on
I
it.
had 2. Gosh dang.
2 points.
It's
And
fine.
I open up the lead again. I'll let you guys sniff around a little bit.
It's
I'll run
all
away,
good.
then
Georgia's not going to do it for you.
Yeah, they will.
I don't think
Texas
so.
isn't beating Georgia. It's just not happening.
Why don't they? Don't have to win.
Yeah, they do.
No, they'll win.
And they got to cover.
Yeah.
Georgia's not. They're good, obviously, but so is Texas. That's anybody's game. Anybody's game.
I feel it in my heart of hearts that
Again,
Georgia.
you've gotten one
No,
game right in 3 weeks.
I don't usually am 100% certain on things. I am 100% certain that game.
What's the latest on your Friday 5? And are we going to get?
TJ said right about the games we cover, and we'll talk about it on the air. But you're not going to talk Andover Derby?
Is that a game they cover?
Yeah.
Maybe you ought to find out the games they cover.
That's
I don't care what games they cover.
And then write about those games, and then you'll get.
Some of those games aren't
and
good
then
games.
you'll get on the air. You know what? Not going to get you on the air. What are the 2 games? The last 2 games you wrote about today.
There aren't that many.
You know what's not going to get you on the air? Give me those 2 games.
Heston?
No, the other one.
Heston, Southeast Saline.
The other one.
Sterling and Hillsborough.
Yeah, that's not going to get you on the air.
That's 2 top 10 teams in their class.
There's 4 guys with a TV in Sterling.
Well, if they're not covering Sterling Hillsborough tonight, that's not good.
Get on the air, man. That's how you take.
And there aren't.
Listen to me. That's how you take Friday 5 to the next level. You get on the air.
I should be on the air.
You do whatever you need to do to get on the air. You don't just write Sterling and Hillsborough. That's a good game. We'll get it in the Friday 5, and nobody cares. You don't get on the air with that game. You understand what I'm saying,
I understand
Duda?
what you're saying. Please continue.
There aren't that many great games tonight.
Well, you
not
find
everybody's
out
playing.
Hey, what are we covering tonight? And I'll get a few of those games on the air, but you got to give me a couple too if I find a game that is in our viewing area that we're not covering.
This is like the shot clock, right?
This is marketing 101.
No, listen. Just listen. I told you I wasn't going to talk today, and you're not even listening when I do.
You've talked more than ever.
This is a trial run. This is year 1 of the Friday 5. We're going to get through the year doing what we do. Then next year, blow it up.
Like the Friday 7?
No, but there'll be some bells and whistles.
Why not get it blowing up this year?
Blow it up now,
Get
man.
it on the air, man.
Run it.
No, there'll be bells and whistles.
I want to see it run. Let's go.
Get it on the air. That's the next step.
Well, I'll do my best. I can't control what goes.
He just told you how.
I do write about the games they cover. Why can't they just, hey, we'll be out at Andover Derby tonight, which they will. And if you want to check get some insight into that game, check out our Friday 5 at catchitkansas.com.
Well, why don't you? Have you ever asked anybody to do that?
Again, I don't beg.
Duda? Does this drive you as nuts as it does me?
Not really.
I don't beg.
Well, you shouldn't beg like that.
Is it begging to say, "Hey, I do this thing"? How do we align the two? You talk about some games on the air. I have this Friday 5 feature that goes online. How can we help each other?
Well, that makes sense.
Maybe the Friday 5 includes, here's the games KWCH will be covering tonight.
Then maybe you could get some input on the games they actually cover.
And then it's going to be a real glaring thing if you don't include Tuesday. So maybe you do the Tuesday 3.
What I'm probably going to do is the Tuesday 2 and go with the 2 best double headers. So the both boys and girls games are good. That's the idea for now. We'll see how it kind of plays out. But I'll have to think about that a little bit. Friday 5 is a brand name, right? You don't want to start watering it down already with other versions of it and spinoffs.
You should do the Tuesday 12.
All right, time for a break.
That.
We've got Eric Adams, the girls' coach at Wellington, coming up next. Yeah, I'm cutting that off.
Oh, it's a great conversation we had going. You just jumped
when
in
I
there.
cut you off, you know I'm saying shut up.
I've had enough.
Eric Adams from Wellington will join us next. They've got a heck of a team, as they've had now for a few years. We'll see what the Crusaders are doing next.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
Eric Adams from Wellington. He's got a bunch of she's the one on this basketball team. Eric, welcome. How are you?
Thanks, Bob. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
We're doing good. We're excited for high school basketball season. You opened last night with a commanding lead over a win over Garden Plain. Got to be pleased with that one. This team has so many aspirations. You're now getting to be a little bit of a veteran team, where in the past you've had a lot of youth on your squad. How big is this year for not only you and Wellington, but also some of these older players you have?
I don't want to push that aside. It's just, I'm not going to do it in coach speak. It's just another year, because the girls and our staff and the community in the school, they know it. They know the talent level we have. These girls put in so much time with this game, and their aspirations are to make noise in Salina this year. Where that takes us, I don't know, but there's no question we're not shying away from the rankings and the pub, I guess, that we're getting. And it is we finally have 4 seniors that have won 67 games and lost, I believe, 5 or 6 in their career. So, but there's also a lot of youth still. We have some great freshmen and sophomores and juniors, and so it's a fun team. And again, I keep repeating when I'm on here that they're just fun to be around. They're great kids.
Yeah, would that have been your approach if the progression was more typical, where these seniors, kind of progressed in playing time, or even maybe not playing varsity as freshmen? Most of these seniors have been the focal point of the team for all of their 4 years, and they've experienced the expectations. So would you maybe not shy away from them as much, or embrace them as much, I guess, if these seniors had kind of gone on a different path?
That's a good point.
I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, more than likely. We have two players, Val Norwood and Britt Zika, that have started since their freshman year. So they know what it takes, what it's like. They've been to Salina in the state tournament all 3 years. And then Ella Goodrum and Kendall Rusk are 2 role-type players that have just come along. Didn't necessarily, obviously, haven't they're not like quote starters. Even though Ella Goodrum did start games last year to fill in for Kylan Gregory, our 6-foot post that tore an ACL the summer before. But yeah, if it was like 4 role players and we're just kind of building that way, we might have a different view on things. But we have 2 seniors that are Britt and Val that are just very, very special players.
Yeah, and obviously with Britt and Val, I know a little bit about Val because I know some of her family, going to school, this sort of thing. I know that she's getting a lot of opportunities in a lot of places. I don't know if you can talk about that or if you know a lot about it. But on the other side of it, who are some of the younger kids that are coming up that you're looking to step in and maybe fill that 5th and 6th, 7th spots on the roster that are going to get some playing time?
Sure. Well, I just mentioned one. Kylan Gregory, she's a 6-foot. Of course, we play a positionless offense, but she can face the bucket and go back to the bucket. But she's back, fully healthy. As last year, she didn't get back until Salina, till the state tournament, and at that, she was maybe 50-60%. So she's back. She's back in the starting lineup. Had a heck of a game last night. Special player, Lindy Barton, a 6-foot. I'd say 4 or 5 player. She had a wonderful game last night. She is a returning starter. I go on and on. I don't want to leave any of our players out because we're pretty deep this year too. It's getting trying to finagle minutes too is a coaching chore right now. Drew Zika, who was a freshman high jump state champion last spring. She had a wonderful game. She was inserted in the starting lineup for now. Starting lineups could vary from game to game. Cruz Cornejo is another one that was a starter last year. Right now we have her at 6th man. Special player. Viv Wright's a freshman, 5'11" freshman that's related to all the Zikas. She's a girl that plays a lot of basketball all summer. And another one, she came in last night, didn't act like anything, didn't act like it was a middle school basketball game. She jumped right in the high school level and really played well. So it's a special group.
Eric Adams is our guest. He's the head girls coach at Wellington. They are, according to the Kansas Basketball Coaches Association, the number 1 team in the preseason in Class 4A. And I gotta mention Bishop Miege. They're number 2. How much fun is this to? Maybe fun's the wrong word, but I think you would view it as fun to be on this continual collision course with Bishop Miege and know that ultimately you're probably going to be on the floor against them. You hope it's for a state championship like it has been before. Last year you made some inroads. You were in that game until the end. They had a little spurt at the finish to beat you. But trying to climb this mountain, how much does that motivate you, Eric?
It does. It motivates us, but it also means we're doing things right. We sure don't, we'd hate for it to be the opposite of, aspirations, just being honest. We just, we're trying to go 500 this year, this and this and this. It's nice to know that everybody thinks of us this way and puts us at that Bishop Miege level. Because, like I said, we're doing things right because obviously they are they're the mountaintop of 4A girls basketball, if not the state, with how many state titles they have and how many won in a row. So for us to be considered in the same breath as a Bishop Miege, it's quite honor. It's so girls know what it's going to take. I will say that last year, after having the lead in the fourth quarter, we do have a different feel now. We feel like instead of just going into the game and hoping for the best, we do have a different attitude of now we feel like we can compete with them. And so that's a little bit of the difference between past going to Salina to now. Obviously, there's a long journey to get there. A lot of good teams in 4A. But when you talk about Bishop Miege, we do feel like we do have the squad that can and play with them.
Yeah, since you are embracing that, have you thought about if and how you might approach that game from a coaching standpoint, differently or the same? I have to imagine the familiarity there is as strong as you have with any program you'd play once or twice every year during the regular season. So just from an approach standpoint, is there anything you'd do differently this year if and when that game happens?
As far as the style, we will continue the style we do, which is 90 feet of really offense. Now, Bishop Mia's with pressuring them full court. You take some chances there. So talented, it can beat you in 2-3 passes for layups, and so you have to watch that. But as far as just matching up man to man and staying a three-quarter court man, we feel like we can do it with switching up a little bit of zone. But we also have, again, I mentioned her name, Kylan Gregory. We'd have 2 6-foot posts they could go double figures any night. I'd be shocked if both aren't averaging double figures, to be quite honest with you, by the season's end. And so we would have that in our back pocket, too, to go more high-low looks. Kind of lacked a little bit last year with that, with still outstanding guard play. But we would have the opportunity to throw 2 6-footers at any squad we'd see there. So we do have that.
Talking with Eric Adams from Wellington. They play again on Tuesday evening. Is that a tournament game against Hutch Trinity?
Yeah, we're in the Cheney tournament, and that's going to be game one, it'll be opening game for us with Hutch Trinity, and then we'll host Pratt.
Okay.
And it's it's pool play. You go 2-0, and the other pool goes 2-0. Then you play championship on Saturday. So that's how that tournament works.
Well, you could meet up with Cheney. That'd be a good test. That's
kind of been we've been meeting each other quite a bit in that tournament. And then, unfortunately, few years we've been in the same pool. So one of us has gone to the championship, and the other the third place game. So, but that's always a great battle. It's always fun to go to Cheney and play that game because it's a packed gym, and how much they love their basketball over there. And so,
right.
We look forward to it. And I did fail to mention a player. Can I mention one?
You better get it mentioned, or you could get fired.
Kylan Gregory's sister, Kirsten Gregory. She's a 5'9" sophomore who is a absolute fire plug and just will come after you defensively and just as intense as you can get. And so with all those names I was going, I need to mention Kirsten, who is going to be such a bright future for us. She's only a sophomore, so she's kind of waiting her time. Right now she comes off the bench. So,
and that leads into my final question for you, Eric.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We mentioned the 4 seniors and the backbone of this program, and whenever we do the postmortem of Wellington girls basketball, these 4 players, and especially Zika and Norwood, will have a lot of notoriety. But you don't feel like this is a successful run that's nearing its end. You feel like there's younger players who can carry on this tradition.
Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot can happen, but there's really good young talent on this high school team, and I don't put a lot of emphasis on middle school, junior high basketball wins, but I will tell you our 8th grade group, there's 8 to 9 that are super talented. A group that plays a lot, and so they'll be obviously feeding into our program next year. So, yeah, it's a great situation to be in as a coach. I'm just blessed and lucky to be the head guy of it.
Well, congratulations and best of luck. We'll keep watching your season. I'm sure my wife will get me to a game at Wellington sometime along the way, and I look forward to it. And thanks for coming on the show, Eric.
I always appreciate you guys asking us to talk about our program. So thanks a lot, and you guys have a great weekend.
All right, there you go. Wellington girls basketball. Near and dear to us here. I'm in Wellington at least once a week. My wife's there a lot. And practically has put up steaks there.
And you didn't tell her that he was on today.
Yeah, she knew.
Did she?
Everything's good.
Did she?
There is you're trying to cause you're trying to cause some trouble between me and my wife.
Yep.
And you can't.
I can.
We're as solid as they come. I know this. My wife will never bake a pie for you the way your wife did for me. And I'll always appreciate that. And thank you to Dia Duda.
What's so funny?
Let's shut him up. Look. That's all it took.
I don't think he wants to talk, though. I think you've done him a favor.
Well, we'll see. He thought he had me. Oh, he didn't tell his wife. I can get in there and dig at him a little. Well,
so bad. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. Do you have any left?
No, it's gone now.
Dang it. Because there's no way you could have beat me up the stairs and I'd have ate the last piece if it was up there.
Good stuff. Good sweet potato pie. Thanks to Dia one more time. 869-1240, the IHOP hotline, brought to you by IHOP, the official breakfast partner of Xbox. Come in and try our decadent, fully loaded French toast only at IHOP. I had an experience yesterday that I've never had before. Would you like to hear about it? No.
Were you at a restaurant?
No.
Were you at
I was at our
CVS?
building, and a couple came in, a married couple, and they wanted to enroll their son in League 42. They didn't speak English, and I couldn't understand them, and they couldn't understand me. And so what I ended up doing is getting on Google, whatever.
Translate?
Yeah. And having a conversation with them.
That's smart.
I'd never done that before.
Well, good job.
That's amazing.
I'm
isn't
surprised, honestly, that you figured that out.
What? Why are you surprised I figured it out?
I got to admit, I'm kind of shocked. I'm with Jeff on this.
Well, you wouldn't have.
Huh? No. I wouldn't have.
Why are you surprised that I figured it out?
I'm kind of surprised you knew that technology existed, to be honest. But hey, because I was about to suggest it, but you beat me right to the punch, didn't you?
Well, what do you mean he beat you to the punch? He already did it.
No, so I'm saying I was going to say, well, why don't you get on?
Well, how do you think I communicated?
A translator. I don't know. I didn't know where that story was going.
What would you have done without that? How could you have figured that out?
Well, all I did was put in my computer into the Google search, how do you say this in Spanish? And it told me.
Oh. Well, that's a little less advanced than I thought you would be.
No, then I got on Google Translate and everything was fine. And we were able to understand each other. But I think it's cool. You know, we had 2 or 3 kids from Venezuela who registered to play in League 42 this year. And now this kid from Colombia. That's amazing to me.
It's fantastic.
I think it is fantastic.
Well, I just said.
Yeah, nobody's giving it to you.
It never feels genuine coming from you.
Right, that's why I don't say it very often, because if you're just going to think I'm lying anyway, then what's the point?
You both got very good points there.
I need you to shut up.
Why is he the middleman today? I hate this. I hate this being in the middle guy. I don't like that.
You both have very good points.
I just don't want you to talk anymore until we get to the game.
Okay.
You could please don't. I don't want to do. I don't want to.
You don't want to just talk to me?
Back and no.
Why?
Let's do this here. We do this every day.
Talk to your dad.
Well, I just thought it was a cool experience and a cool situation.
How long have they been here?
They told me a little over a year. And the kid goes to an elementary school here in Wichita, and they're trying to figure out how to be in this country. I think it's awesome. And
we're playing a little baseball.
Look forward to watching the young man play baseball this year.
For sure.
Come on, I say he's going to just tear it up.
He has to, right?
I would think so.
They said he's only played a year.
How old is he?
He's 9. But I think the dad has worked with him. From what I can tell, listen, it wasn't like it was a easy, fluid conversation.
No, you didn't have a try. You didn't take him in the back and
the indication we didn't
hit him
go
some
out.
grounders.
No, we didn't.
You didn't hit
we
him
didn't
any
try.
grounders?
The kid wasn't there. It was the parents.
Well, he could have did it with his dad, and you'd
Yeah.
known what the kid would have done.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how Jeff got to be a decent ball player, right? Because you.
Well,
were
I
good.
worked with Jeff a lot. He won't ever tell you that.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, tell him.
He worked with me a lot.
Did he?
Yeah.
What'd you guys work on? What was the?
We played a lot of catch. He threw me BP all the time. It was just good stuff.
Well, there you
He
go.
threw me-
Thank you.
Threw me BP from the earliest I can remember. Mostly I had a little wooden bat. That's how far back we go. My first bat was a wooden bat.
You had a ball and bat in your crib.
Well, I'm glad.
Did you have to go get all the balls, or were they all right behind you on the fence?
Oh, I crushed them. They were well to the outfield.
And I remember throwing him pop flies, not pop flies, fly balls. I threw them really high. Back when I could do that.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that for quite some time, but back when I was able to do that, I credit that with helping him become an outfielder.
You know what really made me become an outfielder?
That.
No.
What?
Working with Gary Carr.
How so? What is wrong with Duda?
So it had nothing to do with your dad.
No, he took me to
No,
Gary
that's fair.
Carr.
That's fair.
I hooked him up with Gary Carr.
Yeah, Gary Carr hitting me fly balls. I don't
Because
and
Gary,
he
here's the
hit him
thing.
better?
and I got to dive for him and stuff, and I'm like, I love this.
Here's the thing about Gary Carr, who I worked with for many years and loved the game of baseball. And I know from looking at him, you would never have believed it, but he was an unbelievable athlete back in his day. He was a very devoted guy when it came to baseball instruction. And you were lucky to have him help you because you were only one of a few that he did. And, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed
You hit in the
working with
cages
Gary.
at North High, correct?
Yeah, I made a mistake. I got it in my head that I didn't want to take BP before games.
What?
I just felt like I used all my swings, or like I wouldn't be as fresh. So I didn't take BP before games. That was a mistake.
That's when you take BP.
I didn't like doing it.
It's all right. I never took BP, but we never had batting cages or anything back home.
We always had BP before Cyclones games.
Yeah, and I just didn't. Something about it. I don't
You
know.
always took it.
I did?
Yes.
Well, that's probably why I went 4 for 5 every night. Good point.
I mean, I don't understand that.
Do you remember my best game?
I want to hear this. And then I want you to let me know if
Seems like
that's
it was
where
in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was.
A little short right field porch.
No, it was 375. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
A short right field porch.
How old were you?
No, to the alleys it was 375. I was 16.
And you popped one over the short right field porch.
No, it was. That ball was crushed.
Wind was blowing out.
No, that was just a good day for me.
Oklahoma, 80-mile-an-hour wind.
It was a fastball.
Pop
Called
up.
it. Called it too.
Got in the
Really?
jet stream.
Yeah.
Did
What
you
else
point?
made it a good game?
Did you Babe Ruth
I
it?
had 6 RBIs, 4 for 5. What?
Did you Babe Ruth it? Did
Well,
you point on that one?
We had runners at second and third, and I don't hit home runs. I maybe hit like 3 in my entire time I was playing, but we had runners at second and third. I told the guy up before me, walk, and I'll hit a grand slam, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, there you go. Was it a good team we played?
It was that Edmond Santa Fe team, the host. We crushed them that day, and then they brought in a bunch of ringers, and they beat us in the championship game.
I don't have any recollection of that.
Really?
You could just
No.
bring in ringers in the tournament?
They just brought a whole different team and beat us. This makes me angry to this
That
day.
was the era where we were starting to go that direction of travel and pay and just something I think has been a real negative for youth baseball. And yes, I hope everyone heard that.
It's youth sports.
I think
not just baseball.
I think it's a negative for youth sports, in many ways. Not always, but in many ways.
These were tournaments to play.
Your mic's off. Please make
These
sure.
were tournaments.
Please make. Here's what I
don't
want.
care. Can I just
Here's
make
what,
my point?
Before after I make my point.
This is not
a
gonna,
necessity.
This isn't going to advance the show. My point will.
Have your mic on. Now, what were you going to say?
Tournaments in my day were to play. We played to play. Tournaments now, will the scouts be there? Are we playing the elite? It's not playing to play. It's not playing to have fun. We played tournaments and traveled, yes, but that was to play. And that's not what youth sports is about anymore.
Well, we do the best we can. At the time we did it.
At League 42, you play to play.
Well, I hope so. That's the idea. I gotta consistently remind our coaches. You're here to teach the game, have fun, and not go crazy. If you go crazy, I'll have a visit.
Just play ball.
We're not here to go crazy.
And we don't want a visit from
Mr. Bob.
No, sir.
Well, they really don't want a visit from Mr. Bob. And very rarely have I had to have a visit.
How do you approach those? Are you gentle, or do you just say, hey?
No,
jerk?
I'm very gentle.
Good.
But also very pointed.
Firm.
Because, there's a line there. We want League 42 to not be this non-competitive league. I mean, I'm a competitor. I like competition.
Of course.
But it can't be the end-all of everything.
And speaking of competition, Jason.
What
do we got next?
I don't know.
Well, we're going to play a game.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Why, are you trying to cut me off?
No, but it's about that time.
Well, don't ever try to cut me off.
That was a good segue.
We can do it if we want to.
Yeah.
I am so...
You aren't the be-all, end-all around here.
Dolt.
What dolt?
You know what dolt.
Will you fix your hat for me?
This guy who hasn't made a contribution yet. Because...
Oh, I think he's talking about me.
Because he gets up... I don't care. Because he gets up early, and he has to work his other job, and I don't care. I care about this job.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you. Were you talking to me?
Do your best here.
I am doing my best.
We'll take a break, come back, one more hour. Bob and Jeff.